find the worst property in the best location, because you can't change the location, but you can improve the property. So if you have a good location, it's worth paying a premium to be in a good location, even if the property isn't as good, because then you can upgrade the property, make the property better, but you can't change the location. You can't buy a property here and move it here unless it's a mobile home, but you can't move a property across state lines or across a highway line, but you can improve the property itself. Now, this is where you have to understand what kind of property it is that you want to invest in, because you can invest in single-family homes, you can invest in duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, you can invest in apartment complexes, you can invest in commercial buildings, office buildings, you can invest in retail plazas, you can invest in medical centers. There's a bunch of different types of real estate that you can do, and this is where you have to understand what's important for you and what do you like and what do you want to specialize in. I personally prefer residential. I like apartment complexes, I like single family homes. I did invest in one mixed use building which had some commercial and some residential, but I only did one of those deals. But I like residential because for me, that is the easiest thing for me to understand, because everybody is always going to need a roof over their head. So I can easily understand the demand side of a residential building versus something like an office. Well, that's a little bit more difficult, because as we can see around us, the office environment changes with the economy, and the demand for office is going to change with that. And so the requirements of an office are very different than the requirements of a residential property. And then same with retail. Retail always changes. I mean, the world is moving digital. Some stores thrive in brick and mortar businesses. Some stores don't do well in brick and mortar. So I don't really understand that space as well as I do the residential side. That's why I focus on the residential side. Now, you can find what you like and what you're familiar with and invest in that, but the whole idea here is you want to be investing your money into a property in a good location. Now, once you figure out what type of property you want to invest in, the next thing you have to decide is how turnkey you want this property to be. Some investment deals are going to be completely turnkey in that it's a property that's already rented out and you don't have to do anything except just buy the property, and now it's already producing cash flow. So there's nothing you got to do. The other side is you're going to find distressed properties where not only does this building or house or whatever not have a tenant, it's not even fully functional. Like, it's got ugly carpets, it needs to be renovated, it smells nasty, so you have to put in physical work. Now, you have to figure out where you want to be, but the advantage is if you buy this more distressed property, you're going to get a bigger discount than if you buy a fully turnkey property, because if you buy a property that's turnkey, you're paying a premium. Because now the person who owned it before, the investor, the developer, they put in the time and effort to make sure the property is beautiful, to make sure that it's all set up, to make sure that the tenants are already there and paying. And now what you're doing is you're paying for this completely passive deal where all you got to do is now get the cash flow, get somebody to pay the money into your bank account instead of theirs. So you're just buying a stream of cash here, which is much more passive than finding a deal that's much more distressed. So this distressed deal is going to come at a bigger discount. You can negotiate a better price, but it's going to come with more work, because not only are you going to have to renovate the property, but then you're going to have to get it filled up with good paying tenants, which takes time and it needs a good team. Most of the deals that I have done to date have been on the distressed side, where either it's an apartment complex or a home that has been completely run down. Maybe it's been into foreclosure, where now this property needs work. And now I can purchase this property at a discounted price, meaning below market value. Then I have a team now of contractors. It took me a long time to build a good team of contractors, but I have a good team of contractors that's reliable, that does good work, that does it at a decent price, and then they will come in, do the work, turn the property around, make it look significantly better, and now I can rent it out and make a bigger profit because I've been able to come in and buy the property at a lower price. But it takes more work. And it takes a time, because I had to go through really bad contractors. I had to go through a lot of headache with contractors, and I had to go through all that really effort, learning, and time in order to get to the team that I have today. But you have to decide, if that's something that you want to do, because not everybody's going to be wanting to work with these types of distressed deals, and not everybody has the cash to go out and pay a premium for the turnkey deals. Like when I was getting started in real estate, I had no way of affording these turnkey deals. The only things that I could do was buying the properties out of foreclosure. The one thing that I want to emphasize here when it comes to finding a good property is you don't necessarily want to go out and find the cutest and the best looking property. You want to find the property that's going to pay you the best return on your money, because you're buying this property as an investment, not as a place for you to live in yourself. Now, you want to provide a nice home for the tenants that are living there. You don't want to be a slumlord, because you're going to get burned in many different ways. But you don't want to buy this property with the intention of you living there. So you have to change that standard, but you have to understand that, hey, A good deal is something that's going to provide good cash flow, and then if you can improve the property in the best way possible, that way your tenants want to stay there, that way they want to pay you a premium, well, that's great. But you have to remember that you're buying this property to rent out, not to live there yourself. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.